end of the road disc does a wobble and he looks like a deer trying to walk for the first time. We're going to talk about that and a whole lot more right now on Podcast Rock City Live.
Podcast Rock City.
What's up, everybody? Joe here from Podcast Rock City, and with me this week is Mr. Senorlicious, Joey Casada.
What's up, everybody? How's it going, Joe?
Everything's going well. Jody will be here in a minute. I screwed up and sent him the wrong link. That's all my bad. Thank you guys for listening to last week's show. I did a 30-minute basic talk about my experience of going to the Kiss show and on last Sunday, and it was great. If you haven't heard it, go listen to it. It's on iTunes and Google and Schmoogle and whatever else there is out there. A couple things before we get started, and there's a lot to talk about. I want to point out something real quick. Joey has a new book, and it's out right now. Is it still number one on Amazon?
I don't think it's number one anymore, but it was the number one wrestling book in the country the first few days that it was out. It's still up there on the charts. I could use a couple more sales to knock some of the other wrestling books out of the top spot, but it's a fun read. It's all about that bum Chris Jericho basically giving me a beating, and it's all chaos ensues from there. It's a lot of fun.
Awesome. That's awesome. Congratulations on that. Being number one, when you put your heart and effort into something, and then you have to go up against people like some dude named Mox and some guy named the Iron Sheik, a book about him. Everybody knows he can't write. He barely can speak.
Well, he doesn't even write his own tweets, as far as I know.
But
yeah, it's incredible. I mean, I can barely read or write, but I don't know how, but I have 3 best-selling books I released, and it's insane. It's all thanks to my fans and everyone who loves wrestling and Kiss. And my first book was very Kiss related. This is obviously very wrestling related, but those worlds collide quite often. So it's an absolute honor to do this and still have support from all of you guys. I appreciate it.
Oh, absolutely. All right. So we got a little bit of unfortunate news just about maybe 2 hours ago is when I got it. Maybe some of you guys knew sooner. So let's get to the news.
Podcast Rock City News.
So we just heard that Paul Stanley's guitar tech Fran passed away yesterday, and it says from COVID. So I mean, that's really the all the information that I've seen. As a matter of fact, which is really strange. Let me see here. It was on here just a minute ago, but does it look like it looks like even the announcement's been taken down, so I don't understand that.
Really?
I thought it was on. I thought I saw it on the Kiss Online site. So,
so sad. I mean, again, obviously, this stupid COVID. It's a nightmare. I got to know Fran really well when I toured with them with the Rock the Nation tour. And he was an absolute sweetheart. I believe it's when his first child was born. He actually left that tour for a couple weeks because his wife was giving birth. And my tech at the time, my good buddy Paul LaPlaca, who I break his balls online all the time, semi stepped in for Fran and kind of filled his shoes a little bit. And, even played. Fran had a mohawk back then. And my tech even like shaved his head and made a mohawk and became like the bizarro Fran for a couple weeks filling in for him. So he was just a sweetheart of a guy, great ball breaker. Tragic. I mean, again, to think, and I don't know all the details, and if someone else knows them, please let me know. But if he got COVID out on the road with Kiss, and to bring the massive show that Kiss is bringing to everyone, and the chances of that causing this it's a nightmare.
Now I can honestly say that I've never met him. I know that when I guess maybe it was the last Kiss Cruise or the one right before it, I got to go on stage and ask a question to the crew, and I'm 100% sure he was on there. But I never met him or talked to him. It is amazing how many people are online already going, I did this with Fran, and I did that with Fran. And when they were out of work, one of my friends, Joe, bought a guitar from him because he needed the money, and he bought a guitar from him so he would, have extra money. And here, I did save it. So, but for some reason, I'm not finding it on the Kiss page. But you can see that's where I got it from, and it says, "My dear friend, buddy, and guitar tech for 20 years, Fran Stuber." I hope I said his name right. Please forgive me. Died yesterday suddenly of COVID. Both on and off stage, I depended on him for so much. My family loved him, as did I. He was so proud of his wife and 3 boys as they were of him. I'm numb, Paul. So I don't know why it's not on their site right now. I mean, maybe they just decided to take it down, or I don't know. But it's tragic. This is going to affect the band and everybody that worked around him. Our friend Keith LaRue does so much with Fran, and he was always talking about Fran this and Fran that. And, if he was videotaping backstage, it was always, there's Fran. And Fran was you wanted the best, you got the best guy at the concerts.
Yeah, Fran was always my go-to guy. Whenever Kiss was in town, he'd either get in touch with me, or I'd get in touch with him via text. And we just try to hook up, say hello. Sometimes it would work out. Sometimes it wouldn't. Sometimes I'd get in to see him a little bit. But again, just a sweetheart of a guy. He, you don't always get to see the Kiss guys all the time, or people super close to them. But Fran was someone that always made himself readily available and helped. I personally saw him take care of hundreds of different fans on that Rock the Nation tour, just helping them with everything he possibly could to get something signed, or to get the meet and greet cleaner, or whatever he could do for people. He was always ready to do that. And it's a tragic thing that happened. I believe that I think they were scheduled to play tonight, and it's canceled. Now, I don't know if it's canceled directly from what happened with Fran, or maybe COVID is going around the Kiss camp again. Right. I'm not really sure. I think either way, any of these big tours that are out there touring, I'm not saying don't do it, because this is how we make a living. And I'm one of these guys, and I'm going to be going away soon too, to do some road work. But we got to think twice. Is it worth it? Is it worth going and putting on these big shows and not knowing you have COVID for too long, and then all of a sudden not having that much time left? And he left, he has 3 kids that he left behind.
Yeah. And unfortunately, well, here's the thing. I saw them on Sunday. I went back and listened to the beginning of the show, and I'm obviously not 100%, but damn, it sounds like him going, "You wanted the best, you got the best." But, that doesn't necessarily mean that that's him. But of course, it's all speculation right now. And
yeah, it's funny. I don't see it on any of the pages either. Any of our listeners out there, if you're commenting, let me know if you see Paul's original post. It's not on Paul's page. I just looked.
Yeah, and obviously, when I got it, it was on that's Kiss Online page, But anyway, this is terrible, and we'll just keep his family in our prayers. And and the band, Paul and Gene and Keith, and they obviously, these guys were family. They saw each other more than they saw their own family.
Of course.
And
It's on Paul's Twitter.
Yeah, there you go. So anyway, like I said,
Again, this is a true member of the Kiss family. This is as close, even for people out there that don't know Fran, never heard of Fran. This guy was in the Kiss camp as close as anyone for over 20 years. So this is a real tragic loss. Again, it's not just Fran. It's just the thought of him being out there working with this big production and unknowingly getting this terrible disease. And as far as I know, he was vaccinated too. So it's what a mess.
I would think you'd have to be in order to be on this tour. So, we'll like I said, we'll just keep them in our prayers. Let's see. There's something else that happened this week, and I've got video of it. You want to see it, Joey?
Oh, I saw this. This is crazy.
If you just keep an eye on Gene.
It's basically Spinal Tap. Wow. Luckily, he has that little brace there. Oh.
Okay, so that was very strange. I mean, I've watched it a couple of times now because when I got to my show on Sunday, people I was walking up. Hey, did you see the Gene incident? I was like, no. I went online and sure enough, it's all wobbly. I've watched it a few times, and if you watch, there's like a wire or some kind of cable, maybe that's electrical or something, and it is all kind of wrapped up. It was kind of weird, but luckily he was okay. And like you said, luckily he had that brace there for him to lean back on. Here's my question though. What if it goes forward?
Right. What if it even went the other way? Because if you notice that brace is not all the way around, it kind of is just bracing that way. If you see Gene when it goes down, he falls into the brace and it catches him a little bit. So if I think if it falls the other way, he might topple off.
We might see Gene really fly.
Yeah, it might be like Vince falling off stage this last weekend.
Holy crap. Holy crap, I heard he's got broken ribs. If you guys haven't seen that, go online after the show and look up Vince Neil falls off stage. And I'm sorry, I'm a little more nasally than usual, but of course, my son had a cold and I caught it.
You sound beautiful, Joe. Listen, anything right now without that disgusting Poonie voice to me is a sound of pure angelic joy.
Listen, you guys are all, you guys think that Joey hates Sonny. That's the thing. But truthfully, today or the other day was Sonny's birthday. And of course, the first person online in our private text to say happy birthday, Poonie, is Joey Casada.
Don't rat me out, you bastard. I'm the bad guy on this show. I'm the heel. I play the heel. Now Poonie's the heel. He's disgusting.
He's the heel.
Yeah, he's the heel. You're right.
But so happy birthday, Sonny. Obviously, we were hoping you were going to be here. He's celebrating he has an 18-year-old, turns 18, I guess today, and that's what they're doing is celebrating. And Jody should be here soon. The StreamYard's giving him crap. So, all right. So I had a little more news. Let's see here.
Put that Matt Porter question up right now.
Oh.
Oh, he begged me for a birthday cameo. Trust me, and he sent me. I think he sent me a $500 Kohl's gift card.
Did he really?
No,
I'm kidding. I know it's not true. Well, yeah. Was that it? I guess that was it. So, very strange week. Very strange week with Kiss is cruising along on tour. They have had some tragedy now in the camp. I don't know how long they're going to be out because of this it could be a week. Handling business. That's really all we can expect. We gotta. If you have tickets to the show that's coming up in the next week, whatever is going to happen is going to happen, and you just going to have to understand this is a family member, and they gotta take care of his family and take care of him.
I'm just wondering if did they cancel because of what happened? Did they cancel because it's obviously in this Kiss camp again? So maybe it's other things that we don't know about. It's crazy. It's a crazy time out there, and weirdly, it's hitting the Kiss camp a lot, and it's tragic.
Yeah, and it's very strange, like because I look at the numbers every day, and right now they're down, and that's a positive thing. But obviously, I mean, who the fuck knows?
Disgusting.
It is.
Fran was a young guy, and there's no reason that he shouldn't be with us anymore.
Yes, I agree 100%. So we're gonna go ahead and get to the topic of the week, and if Jody is able to come in, then we'll snag him up into the conversation. But he did make me a brand new topic of the week video, so let's go ahead and check out the topic of the. The funny thing is I know you do animation, Joey, don't you? You've done some before?
I don't do it personally. I have it outsourced, but yeah, I have I did the Rockheads with Eric Carr's sister. We did that. But I write the animated stuff. And then I outsource the actual animation. But I map out the storyboards. I know all that stuff.
Yeah, I don't have that kind of patience and or talent. It's just like please.
Your talent is being handsome, Joe. That's all you can handle.
Well, my mom used to say that. That's my mom's birthday today in heaven. Oh. She used to tell me I was handsome all the time.
Happy birthday.
She had bad eyes. Okay, so topic of the week. I constantly see these things where they go, rank this, Kiss ranks these records, all the Kiss records ranked, all the 70s Kiss ranked. So I saw one the other day, it was ranked the Kiss 80s records. And I thought that was a pretty interesting thing. So I thought, well, I think we're going to go ahead and give that a shot. What do you think?
Now, when you first sent this to me, I know the 80s, what the 80s means. It means 1980 through 1989, right? But when I hear rank the 80s Kiss records, I don't think, Unmasked and The Elder and Creatures. I think Lick It Up through Hot in the Shade. So
right.
I weirdly count Revenge in that too, even though it's not the 80s. So I was all thrown off, but I kind of revamped and I pivoted and I understood what you guys are talking about. This is weird. Adding like Unmasked and The Elder in, even Creatures in with the non-makeup albums is a little weird for me because they're not really the same vein, a lot of these records, but I like doing it. I enjoyed doing it.
So when you think 80s, you think no makeup
immediately. When you say 80s Kiss, I don't think Unmasked or even Creatures. When anyone refers to 80s Kiss, I think I'm going to guess 85% of us out there think no makeup Kiss.
Okay, now that is a good point, and it's probably true for the majority of us. However, they did release a extra albums in the 80s, so I believe there was 8 of them. Let's see, how many do I?
Right.
Yeah,
yep,
8 records in the 80s. Let me catch up on some of my comments here. People are excited that there's no Poonie. What's that all about?
Of course they are. Come on. He's terrible. His face is terrible. His voice is terrible. Everything about him. Poonie is terrible.
There's Jody. Can't get in.
Poor Jody.
he surrendered.
But again, the 80s Kiss, for me, I would have included Revenge and Carnival and got rid of Unmasked and the Elder. I think, to me, that's a truer, kind of grasp of these records. But I got what we're doing.
Here is a Brad Rustoven sent us a thing. Here's the Facebook message from Dayton venue. Important Kiss update. Kiss at the Wright State Nutter, that is disturbing, Center is being rescheduled and will unfortunately not take place tonight. All previously purchased tickets will be honored for the new date once announced. More information will be emailed to ticket holders. So,
Brad also posted that tonight was the last night of the tour before the cruise.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so now they have a break.
Right.
Okay, well,
I'm curious, all those cruise ticket holders, Joe included, if it's going around the Kiss camp right now, it's a scary
wait
time.
and see. My thing is, I'm going to Florida. I'm going on a vacation.
Wait, you're going to go? If the cruise doesn't happen, if you get word before you go to Florida, you still going?
Man, I got a plane ticket to go to Florida, hit Miami. Woo! They got nude beaches, baby.
Oh, shit. You and Pooney on the nude beach?
The Poonster?
Live stream it, right? If you live stream it, it might be our most hits ever.
I got news for you. I have 360 camera. I will bring that bad boy on there. You guys can put on VR headset, and it's just like you're there.
You're going to need more than 360 to get all the Pooney in there.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be a virtual reality. You guys will be like, "Thank you, Joe. That's awesome."
Oh, I feel sick thinking about that. No, I'm leaving for the Jericho cruise. I'll be on the Jericho cruise this upcoming week. I leave Wednesday night. Should be a great time. I'm co-hosting Talk is Jericho with him.
Oh, yes, this is important. You're
yes.
Right now you are. Okay, it's a new episode, right?
What do you mean?
Yes. The Talk is Jericho. Tell everybody about that real quick.
Yeah, so I'm going on the cruise. I'm performing with the 80's band Rubik's Cube on the Jericho cruise this week. Anyone on there that's listening to us, of course, in PRC land, come and say hello to me. Come find me. We'll have a drink at the bar. But I'm playing a couple sets. I'm also co-hosting Talk is Jericho with Chris on one of his episodes, and we're interviewing two of my favorite musicians ever.
And
Robert
mine
and Michael Sweet from Stryper.
Amazing.
So that's going to be an absolutely great time. We're jamming with, I know Michael's coming up for at least a couple songs with us. Chris is coming up for a couple songs. So it's going to be a blast.
It's one of those things where Michael Sweet, Jody and I got to interview him a couple of years ago at the Rocket Pod. And it was the main reason, besides seeing each other, that's why we went. All right, so let's go ahead and do this. I don't think Jody's gonna make it, but let me. I did get an email. I had said send us your list. Man, I'm gonna mess up this dude's name. I feel so bad. Eladio. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna say this. Eladio Quintanilla. What do you think?
It sounded good.
It looks pretty good. Eladio Quintanilla. Thank you very much. Oh my goodness, Sonny is in the building.
No! Stop it!
What's going on?
How are you? Happy birthday, Sonny.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yes.
My daughter turned 18 today.
Yes, that's really awesome. So. Yes.
I've never seen a picture of her, Sonny. Can I see a picture of her?
Dude, it scared the hell out of me.
She's 18.
Yeah. Oh, wow. This just went in a weird way.
Yeah, it just went in a weird place.
Okay, so we're so basically, Sonny, what you missed was we were talking about Fran. You obviously got that news, correct?
Yes, I did.
We talked about that. And we've talked about the fact that Joey is about to go on the Jericho cruise. We talked about his book came out. It was #1 on Amazon.
I saw that.
And New York Times. I don't know.
Hopefully soon. Did Pooney buy a copy of the book?
I have not yet.
Really?
Oh,
I haven't yet.
Yeah.
It's a great birthday gift for your daughter. What are you doing?
Oh my God! Why put my daughter through that? She did nothing to you.
Oh my God, so evil. Anyway, okay, so here's the thing. All right, so just a bit. Eladio Quintanilla, he sent us a list of his what they are, number 8 through number 1, and this will cause controversy. Here we go. Number 8 is Animalize. Number 7 is Hot in the Shade. Number 6 is Creatures of the Night. Number 5, Hold Your Heart, Sonny, is Asylum. Number 4 is Creatures of the Night.
You already said that one.
Yeah, you said that twice.
Oh,
Joe,
I'm
but
sorry. Crazy Nights. There's a night in there in my brain.
Am I the only one listening? What's going on?
Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. So Crazy Nights is number 4. Number 3, Music from the Elder. Number 2, Lick It Up. And number 1 is Unmasked. Thank you, Eladio. We really appreciate. I don't know. I hope I'm saying
Frank Anzalone said you totally butchered that poor guy's name, just so you know.
And Jared's right. The last time I saw you was at my birthday in Vegas when I was 50. That's right. That's
So like
how
10 years
COVID
ago
does
now?
it to you. Yeah, that's how COVID does it to you. 10 years
Yeah.
ago. Whatever.
Yeah, I put the big announcement that you were 55.
We were having such a nice show before.
Oh my goodness. Guys, everybody's saying happy birthday.
I see that. Thank you very much, guys.
Everybody's saying yeah. So it's
Look, he barely cares, everyone. You see him? He's the heel. See what he's doing? He's playing, playing to the crowd. He's like, yeah. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So before we get into that, Sonny, they did. So Brad said that tonight's show, which has been canceled, was the last show before the cruise.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that part. I knew it had been canceled. I didn't know it was the last show.
So that gives them some time to grieve, some time to handle business. You know what I'm saying? And then we'll see what happens. I mean, I can't imagine that they would cancel the cruise, right? I mean, that.
Oh no way.
So close and so.
I think everybody's got to grieve their own way. I have plenty of friends that would grieve in the way that says the show must go on, right? And do the show in his honor. And I guess I got plenty of friends that would say, "Look, I just can't do it today."
Well,
right.
What scares me is I believe it says that he passed yesterday, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So did they just say that tonight's show was canceled? They didn't say it yesterday, right? Or earlier?
No. It was like 2 hours before the show started or some crazy thing like that.
I get scared that it's not just because of grieving. It's because maybe COVID is in the camp again, and other people have it that they had to stop the show.
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll have to wait and see. All right, so let's go ahead. The three of us are here. Let's go ahead and do our list. Who wants to go first?
What are we doing? We starting with number 8?
Yeah, start with number 8 and move to number 1. Joey, you want to go first? Go
sure.
First.
So just to a little heads up, I actually love all these records. There's not a stinker in the bunch. I mean, I love every Kiss record, so it's ridiculous to even say. So this was a little hard for me because, you asked me this a couple weeks from now, it might be different. And over the years, this list has definitely changed. Like some of these albums have really matured well for me and some of them not as well. And I'm going to start with Hot in the Shade. When this first came out, I absolutely adored this record. It hasn't aged as well over the years. I still think it's a very strong record that gets unneeded crap for, a couple filler songs. But again, I'll take fillers. I don't want 10 songs. I'd rather the 15 songs and let me decide what the filler is. I'll skip them if I don't like them. That's okay. But Hot in the Shade would be my number 8 of this group.
I'll go next because it's the same. Hot in the Shade was number 8 for me. Only because now here's the things. The songs that were released, like the videos, I love those songs. I wish they would play them, live.
Yeah.
But for me, it's hit and miss. For the record, Sonny.
Yeah, what I did was I went and ranked all 86 songs. That's the easiest way for me to do it, is rank the 86 songs, and then you can take averages, right? And just figure, you don't got to think about what's in front of something, what's behind something, because everything's got a number, right?
Right.
And Elder was dead last. There's just
Of
songs on
course.
there that I absolutely cannot stand.
I mean,
It's not,
this
there's not, 10 Murder in High Heels, but it's damn close.
let's just dissect what he just said. Number one, let's backtrack.
Go ahead.
He ranked the 86 songs. Sonny, I mean, if anyone above you in Coles is listening, this idiot is not doing anything at work. Okay? Is anyone at Coles management, upper management, does anyone watch this show? Because he's got time to rank the 86 songs at work, because that's where he's doing it, because there's no way he's doing it on his free time.
Right.
So please, if you're watching this, get rid of this bum.
I have the benefit of driving a lot, so I constantly listen to podcasts and music and stuff, so it's easy.
How are you ranking him as you're driving?
I'm just writing them down.
As you're driving?
Yeah.
What the hell?
I text.
Do we have policemen watching this show? Arrest this idiot. Come on. Either way, I win. If he's fired or arrested, I'm happy.
Half Ace wants to know when the Kiss cruise is. We board the 29th. Let's see. Okay, so Sonny's wrong, but we're gonna let him have his own thing. That's super important.
See, John Clark just did the same thing, and he said I was right.
He just did a spreadsheet on Booney's comments. Perfect.
Okay, number 7, Joey.
So number 7, this album, even though it's number 7, really has grown on me over the years, and that's Animalize, especially the Paul songs. Every Paul song on this record is phenomenal. Under the Gun, Get All You Can Take, all this stuff is all underrated songs. Thrills in the Night is an absolute hit all the way. Not to mention I've Had Enough and Heaven's on Fire. But yeah, you got a couple throwaways like Murder in High Heels. I think Burn Bitch Burn is actually a great song. It's killer riff. Yeah, the lyrics are ridiculous, but so are half of Chris's lyrics. So what? I think this is a very forgotten, underrated record, but it's still ranked on this list at number 7.
All right. For me, I go in a different direction. I have to put Crazy Nights in there. There's something about that record that I of course I love it, but there's something about it that just I can't put those other ones in there. It doesn't. How about this? It feels like every Kiss record has this thing about it. Maybe it's the sound, or maybe it's the songs, or maybe it's the look, or whatever. But for me, Crazy Nights doesn't have any of that. It's very plain. I don't know how else to say it. It's just a very plain record to me. It doesn't have anything that makes me go, wow. I like the song Crazy Nights, and but no, anyway. That's my number 7. Poonster, Birthday Boy.
On this list, my number 7's Hot in the Shade. It's the Gene songs that really kind of drag it down. Somewhere Between Heaven and Hell, Love's Like a Slap, The Street Giveth, Boomerang. I don't really even like Little Caesar. Yes, Send the Hate Mail. I don't care. I don't like the song. I don't think it's great. So that's why Hits is 7 for me.
I always get confused when people call it Hits, because I always think of smashes, thrashes, and hits, and I always think that that's what people are. Oh, I love hits, and then I have to go, well, which one? Is it smashes, thrashes, and hits, or is it Hot in the Shade? And they always
call that smashes.
Smashes.
Joe, you call it smashes, don't you? Yeah. I call it smashes.
I call it smashes. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Clark has a great question here. Do you think Mutt Lange could have saved Crazy Nights? First of all, I don't know if Crazy Nights needs saving, but I think if it's Mutt Lange and not Nevison, absolutely better record. I think the part of that record that deters me a little bit from it is the production. That guitar sound, that old Rockman, I think that's what it sound from the 80s. It's just so tinny. The whole record has this tinny feel to it.
Yeah, I'm a little bit opposite on that. I rather have the heart sounding Kiss than the Def Leppard sounding Kiss.
Yeah, but not
80s.
for the songs on Crazy Nights. Crazy Nights could use that Def Leppard production.
I don't know if it needs saving, to be honest. You'll see on my list.
No, don't get me wrong. I love the record.
You
too,
just
but
made the list.
the audio quality of the record is anyway.
Yeah.
I'm up. I go right.
Yeah.
It's perfect timing. So number 6 for me is Crazy Nights. Again, I actually love this record because the songs that I love on this, and again, I didn't rank them like Pooney ranked them because I don't think that's what necessarily makes a good record, ranking the songs and figuring out which, how that works. But because I could have 3 songs on this record that are phenomenal and 7 awful songs, but I'll still like the record because of those 3 phenomenal songs. And Crazy Nights kind of has that for me. There's a couple songs on this record that I absolutely love, like Crazy Nights. My Way to me is one of my all-time favorite Kiss songs. I know it gets shit on all the time. Absolutely love it. I'll Fight Hell to Hold You. Same thing. Hell or High Water, I think, is a crazy underrated Gene song. Super melodic. Again, I know it's Gene in the 80s, so he doesn't get his just due. He was never Bon Jovi that Paul was trying to be, but that's a great song that has a really cool hook. But the reason why it ranks so low is because of the production for me. It's an album that sometimes is hard to listen to, especially to me, side 2. And I know maybe people don't know what side 2 means. Side 2, I believe, started with Walls Come Down, right?
I think so.
I think so.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, it did. And to me, I know Reason to Live is there, but side 1 is phenomenal. Side 2 is pretty weak for me, even though My Way is on there too.
No, those are all good points. I mean, this is one of the things about doing an opinion thing. It's like, I mean, you can't be wrong. It's just an opinion. It's just, although Sonny's still wrong for making 8 Elder. Your opinion is wrong. Your point is moot. Okay, I'm just kidding, of course. For me, number 6 is Animalize. I love Animalize, but whenever I listen to it, there's something that bothers me about. I know this is going to seem weird, but it feels like, I can tell there's a bunch of different guitar players on it. Like when I listen to Creatures of the Night, I know there's not just one guy playing guitar, but I can't tell very well. It's all seems to blend very well, if that makes sense. And it kind of like throws me for a loop. I don't know, but that's my thing about. But I love Animalized. That's important. The Eric Carr's drumming is badass on that record. Sonny?
Before I go, Half Ace basically put his list in release order, except for Animalize and Asylum. He basically put it in release order.
That's true, right?
I don't know if he noticed he did that.
That's crazy.
So for me, my 2 through 6 today has changed over the years. And my 6, yes, send your hate mail, is Creatures of the Night. I cannot stand I Love It Loud. I can do without Rock and Roll Hell. I like it, but I could do without it. But the songs that are good on it, I love it. But yeah, it's I'd rather have Fast Kiss. I'm more of a Fast Kiss fan than I am
Groove.
Not so much groove. Like Creatures has a little bit of that new wave of British heavy metal sound a little bit, and I'm not a huge fan of that.
Okay.
So Creatures for me.
I don't know why we have him on the show, Joe. I mean, I get it. I guess we have to have someone for the fans to hate. I get it.
But I Still Love You is a top 10 song for me.
Yeah, see, there you go. And I can't listen to that song anymore. I don't know. I think I burned myself out on it. I think
so good.
I love all the versions too. Every version I hear, I can listen to.
Me too.
It is a wonderful song, but I think that I just burned myself out on it. Joey.
So
5.
I think I'm up to 5, right? So again, I love all these records, so it's so hard to saying that it's number 5 is almost saying that I don't like it, but I'm going to put Asylum at number 5. And it's more of the same reasons why Crazy Nights was so low too. I love a lot of the songs on Asylum. Who Wants to Be Lonely is one of my favorite Kiss songs, probably top 6 or 7 Kiss songs of all time. Love it. But something about the production again on this record, 2 things bother me. Joe hit it right on the head. Eric's drumming on this record is incredible. Guess what? You can't fucking hear it. You can't hear it. King of the Mountain is all double bass. All Love a Deadly Weapon, all double bass. You hear nothing. You don't hear any of it. I don't know what they were thinking. There's no power at all. And then, not to badmouth Bruce, but I don't love Bruce's playing on this record either. I think it's a little too much. It has the little bit of that sound I don't like. Again, song-wise, quality-wise, great. Even the Gene stuff, which Gene gets crapped on a lot for his 80s performances. I think over the years, people have started to come to appreciate Gene's 80s songs way more. Things like Secretly Cruel, things like Love's a Deadly Weapon, stuff like that. Trial by Fire. I don't think people realize that how good those songs really are. It's just, to me, again, this production leaves me a tiny bit flat, and that's why it's lower on the list than it should be.
I really love that record. It has such a huge place in my life. It's really weird how we rank things that way sometimes, where were we when this record came out? Are the memories really good of getting the record? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like there are people that will go, Dynasty, was when I left the band because I didn't even recognize, but later on they wound up loving the record. But but it wasn't Kiss to them. Anyway, it's really strange. For me, number 5 is going to be Lick It Up. And I love the record. It's just a little too tinny for me when I hear it. I like a lot of bass, a lot of low end, and a lot of bottom, and I don't know, when I listen to it, I don't feel what. See, Sonny's laughing about me loving
because you
bottom.
Didn't describe Karen. That's why. So I'm trying to figure out who you love it.
Karen's got a small bottom.
Karen, are you listening?
It's adorable. Anyway. And yes, she will be on the cruise with me. She will be the one that when Sonny walks over to her and goes, "All right, I'm tired of Joe. Get him out of here. Hey, Joe, let's go and do something." I promise I'm really not that social. You'll be surprised. Let's see. All right, Sonny, you're up.
All right, so my number 5 is actually my first Kiss record, and that's Animalize. Really, it's because I've Had Enough. I love Under the Gun just as much as I hate While the City Sleeps and Murder in High Heels.
Yeah.
Like, there's songs on here. Like, I Get All You Can Take. Man, I love that song. Nobody ever talks about it. People give it a hard time. Like, there's some great songs on that record. But I basically stop at song 7 and go to the next album because I don't like the last 2 songs. That's really the only reason I landed at number 5.
Interesting. That's really interesting.
Yeah, so I'm up to number 4, right?
Si, senor.
So again, this is a fantastic record for me, but in this grouping, it's going to be down to number 4, and that's The Elder. I think this, again, I know people don't like it. A lot of people hate it, but there's people on my side where they think it's a masterpiece, and I really do. I think it's a great, great, great record, especially if you listen to it in the original order, the Fanfare, Just a Boy, Odyssey, that order, the original thinking of the order. If you really listen to it, how it tells the story and how it crescendos and decrescendos and blah, 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 and all this stuff, it's a great, great record. There's so much cool musicianship on this record, cool songwriting. Yeah, there's a couple moments like Paul's voice in Odyssey. If he sang it full voice rather than whatever the hell he was trying to do, I think it would have made a big difference. But after anything but Odyssey, which is the only song to me that's not really a great song, everything else is super powerful. I think I should have been a staple in the Kiss set list forever. It's a great closer. It's a great back end of the set song. It's exactly what Kiss stands for. It's an anthem type song, and it never got its due because it was on this record that flopped.
That's a possibility about Sonny is laughing again.
John Clark is using it as nature sounds to fall asleep to. The Elder. That is awesome.
Wow.
I see a lot of people saying hi to Karen all of a sudden. Hello.
Yeah. Well, you know what I have to say about that? Sorry. Jody made me that because I'm always doing it. Anyway, Elder is mine too. That's my number 4. I remember it took me so long to find and hear this record. I remember being in the store and seeing it and not being able to get it. And but when I finally did, it was really strange. I remember this guy, Tim. He had it on cassette, and I said I really would like to have that. And he came over to my house one day and he brought it. And he goes, "You could have it, but how about giving me that Priest record right there?" And I don't remember which one it was, but I handed it right over, and I took the Elder and put it on, and I was just blown away. I remember going to my mom. I know I've told this story, and going, "Hey, Mom," when Just a Boy was on, and going, "Do you know who this is?" And she's like, "No, who is it?" When I told her it was Kiss, she was like, "What?" In a New York accent. She's from Brooklyn. Says, "What? Let me go drink my coffee." But music from the Elder, the reason why I love it so much is because it is the riskiest thing they did. Now, some people might say Dynasty was, because it was the first time they really, but really, music from the Elder is they were, once they hit with Dynasty, and that album hit pretty big. For them to go unmasked was obviously even a bigger risk. I mean, look at it it changed their fan base. Sonny, your team won just now.
I saw.
John Clark's comment was great. He said when he put that last one up, Joe. This is great.
When I purchased the Elder, I wanted to take it back. I thought I had got conned by a band named The Elder that named the album Kiss.
That's really good.
Yeah, but you know what? Funny. That's the reason why I love Kiss so much. I listen, as much as I love Love Gun and Rock and Roll Over, 2 of my favorite records of all time. I think if I had 30 of those, I wouldn't like it. I love that Kiss changes so much every record and throughout the years. That's what makes it to me, it's never stale. I could always go back and listen to a Kiss record no matter whatever mood I'm in the mood for.
Right. No, that is amazing. And here's something else. So you've got Kiss records where multiple Kiss records sound like each other. They have the same vibe. Elder, you do not. It's one and done. It's like it has its own class. If you were to take, the first Kiss record all the way through Love Gun, right?
Right.
Those all could go together. You go after that, then you got Dynasty and Unmasked, right? They go together. Then you get the Elder. Everything after the Elder, they all can't go exactly in their own in the group one and done. And maybe Carnival of Souls does that. But I would argue that you could put Carnival of Souls with Creatures of the Night.
Yeah,
I would argue you're stupid.
Oh, that's a strong word.
Since you were brave enough to say it, I was brave enough to say it back. Are you kidding me? Those two albums should be nowhere near each other.
Well, like sound-wise, how heavy it is and how...
Nah, Creatures is a sister record to Lick It Up. If you know, they're the same song, same record.
Well,
Joe's like,
it's okay, you're wrong. All right, where are we?
Before I get to my number 4, the last time I had buyer's remorse is a funny story. I'm on the Monsters of Rock cruise, and Steve Harris was on the cruise with his new band, Bish Lion. So I went to the T-shirt booth and bought the British Lion shirt, then went to go see British Lion, and they were not very, very good. They were not good at all. So I tried to return my T-shirt, and they didn't take it back.
Sonny, you tried to return a T-shirt. You know what that is equivalent? You know what that's equivalent to? What happened to Sonny? Marrying a virgin. Okay, time out. I need to return this. No, you can't return it. You bought it. Put the ring on it. Everybody put the ring on it. All right, sorry.
My number 4. So my top 4, my top 2, I don't skip any songs. My third one, I skip one song every once in a while. And my fourth one, I skip usually 2 songs. That's kind of how close they are. And my number 4 today is Unmasked. The 2 songs that I usually skip are She's So European and You're All That I Want. Those are the 2. For as much as I love Tomorrow and Easy It Seems, and I could listen to them over and over and over, those other 2 songs, if they didn't exist, I probably wouldn't care. So that's how close it was, but my number 4 is Unmasked. I like Pop Kiss. I don't mind it at all.
I love Pop Kiss.
Yeah, me too.
One of the now, of course, this is going to come up later, but I'll just hold on. I'll hold on to my comment for when I say The Elder. Joey, what do you think about that choice?
Sonny's choice? Yeah. I mean, I don't disagree with him. I actually like She's So European, but You're the One That I Want is the only song that I skip. Well, whatever the hell. That's how much I don't skip. That's the only one I skip. That's why I don't even know the name. It's the last song. It's perfect because it's the last song. So I just never even play it. It's just not a good song. It's so different than the other songs on the record. Every other song is a pop hook, you know, all the pop sensibilities you could possibly imagine. And then that song is just, You're All That I Want. It's just like so dreary. It's like,
as we move forward, I want to point something out. I've said something to Sonny about this before. My buddy Thad, we have been friends for almost 30 years now, and he is a Dallas Cowboys fan, and this is what I have to deal with every time they win.
Did the Cowboys win?
He sends me messages. Woo! It's like you could play Madden with him, right? And he's Dallas. He would score in Madden and woo like he was watching the game. And then when they show the instant replay and they score again, he woos at me again. I hate that shit. I never cared about Dallas until I met that fucker. All right. So, all right. Joey,
my number 3. So this record, I mentioned it earlier, being the sister record to Creatures, is Lick It Up. Growing up, this was actually my least favorite Kiss record. I remember always, and I was probably the opposite of, or maybe exactly what Kiss said everyone was doing. They were listening with their eyes. I was the opposite. I was listening with my eyes, but I wanted to listen with the makeup. I wanted the makeup. And when I got this record, I was so disappointed, not only in the cover, but most of the record. It wasn't until I was much, much older that I really got to appreciate this record for what it is. And that's really the follow-up to Creatures of the Night. It's the perfect follow-up. Yeah, it doesn't have the same energy somewhere or even the same production, of course, but it's a great, great record. Some of the songs, obviously, Million to One, All Hells, On the Eighth Day, to me, again, one of the most underrated Kiss songs ever, Not for the Innocent, probably maybe Gene's most evil song. It's just a thick, heavy Gene song. It's just a great record, and it complements Creatures so much, but I didn't realize that growing up. It took it took the maturity of my musical career to kind of make me appreciate Creatures for what it is. I mean, Lick It Up for what it is.
Yeah, no, makes sense. They still get that Eric Carr kick drum sound. It's like one of those things where you're really glad that Michael James Jackson just said copy and paste.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I wish the drums were more Creature heavy, those big giant toms, but the production on Lick It Up, compared to Creatures, people think it loses a lot, but it's still a great. If you even just listen to the pop sensibilities of Lick It Up, the song and the production, it's perfect. It wouldn't have worked with a Creatures production, that song.
Interesting. My number 3 is Asylum. I love that record. I don't really think that there's any bad songs on it. It's really weird. I'm weird about it. I loved everything, not only about the record, but I even liked the look. I didn't even mind Gene's look, except in the video. That one video,
Tears Are Falling, right?
Falling. It looks awful.
That's
He does.
Yeah.
That's the worst, man.
To me, that's the worst he's ever looked. I don't mind. Everyone makes fun of Gene's wig on the Animalized Live Uncensored. It looks great.
Yeah. I would have never known had somebody not told me. I would have never known that was a wig. I wasn't wise enough, to what was going on at the time. He was shooting a movie or whatever. But every time I see that video, all I could think of is 1970s Andre the Giant, because his hair does exactly the same thing.
It's so bad.
Think about him. He's like, I just picture him rhyming with Andre's voice, like from The Princess Bride. Does anybody have a carrot? Anyway. Sonny.
All right, so my number 3 is also Lick It Up. And the song that I sometimes skip is honestly Lick It Up. I'm just burnt on it. But man, there is some great, between Exciter and A Million to One, there are some I love Give Me More, right? There's some unbelievable songs on there. I know this jackass with the 2 V's is all over that record, and I can get past that. I still listen to the Invasion records. I can get past that stuff. But the song Lick It Up, and what pisses me off is the whole Who thing. Like, just stop doing it. That's what burned me out on the song, really. I hate it.
I just saw it on Sunday, and as soon as they start doing it, I was like, I'm just going to sit down. I sat down twice during that show. I sat down during the Who, and then I sat during the weird rendition of Beth with the piano, and I don't know. I'll have a seat here.
Yeah, so that's the only reason. Otherwise, I've always liked Lick It Up. I don't mind that it wasn't a makeup album, because I wasn't a makeup fan yet anyway. So that part was fine with me. And, Paul sounds so good. It's ridiculous.
So good. Yeah. It's
and anytime somebody does a song off this album, like a cover or in a live set, man, it kills. Like when somebody does one of these songs, they're written so well.
And I got to tell you, I'll go as far as Animalize should be the other sister album of these 3. But the problem with Animalize is Gene disappears.
Yeah.
If Gene's songs were as good as his songs on Creatures and Lick It Up, because Paul's songs on Animalize are incredible. That's what hurts Animalize. It's Gene's songs.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, that's interesting. Joey, number 2.
So my 1 and 2 can't be more different. So my number 2 is Kiss Pop, Unmasked. Love, 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 love this record. For people who are not Kiss fans, this record you should go listen to immediately, because this is a record that's just pure pop all the way through. And again, it's one of the main reasons I love Kiss so much. To put on a record like this and then put on my number 1 pick, which is so different, it makes Kiss who they are. I love, and listen, I don't think they were doing it on purpose. They were searching, and they were, they were doing all these different things. And I think if they just kept writing Rock and Roll Over, people would have gravitated and loved it, whatever. But I think this is what makes Kiss the band that all of us and hundreds of podcasts and group chats and cruises and all this stuff. This is the stuff that makes it a phenomenon. Not just the makeup, not just the 70s. All the different eras of Kiss is what creates the fan base, because it also gets us to debate a lot. And I think debating, if everyone just loves something or everyone just hates something, there's no debating, there's no discussion. Because these albums are so polarizing, Unmasked, The Elder, all these records are polarizing one way or the other. That's what creates the fandom, I think.
One of the things that I've said on this show before is that I'm not the biggest AC/DC fan. I like AC/DC. They're a really great band. But my thing about it is there are no debates musically like Kiss fans have about the discography from AC/DC. Nobody goes, they changed their sound here and they took a chance. So that's kind of great. But going back to something that was said earlier, do you think that if Kiss would have just kept releasing Rock and Roll Over, that their fans would have been satisfied, or you think they would have walked away? Because AC/DC has done that. Same record, different singer from the beginning to, a little later, but still, you put on an AC/DC record, you know what you're getting.
They survive as long as all four members are still there. The thing on AC/DC is you've got not only the look, I open this jar of peanut butter, the peanut butter always tastes the same, it's always the same recipe. But it's the same guys making it. If you open a different jar of peanut butter and it's not from the same company, it don't taste the same. So if Rock and Roll Over was going to happen over and over and over and over, then Paul, Gene, Peter, and Ace have got to be in the band the entire time. And then I think you got the group and the fan base probably wouldn't be as big as AC/DC. It wouldn't have as mass appeal as AC/DC does. But you would have had this core group of fans that, you could have released the same album over and over and over, I think.
There you go.
But you can't do them with them changing. That's not going to work.
Yeah, I just don't understand. I mean, obviously, I've been in bands my whole life. Joe, you've been in bands. Sonny works at Kohl's.
Why you got to go there?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sonny had
he actually. I believe he owns Kohl's, as far as I know. I mean, he definitely makes more money than all of us combined. I know that for sure.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
But being in a band my whole life, even just the same band for a couple of years, you just naturally start to mature or change, or I don't understand how AC/DC has done it. I admire them for it. Don't get me wrong, but
yes,
I understand why Kiss was changing. They were different people. They weren't hungry, starving musicians anymore. They were rich millionaires when Dynasty came out, and they were trying to create more of a public image, and they wanted to please the critics now. And I understand that, because that's just becoming an adult. They were kids, and then they were starting to become, some of them were 30 around that area. So, they were starting to get more mature. I get it. I just don't understand how you can still keep doing the same music. It's hard.
One of the things I always noticed was, AC/DC records have come out and I've read reviews, and they don't get bashed like Kiss gets bashed. It's like I've never read a review. Now, of course, there's got to be one out there, but I've never seen one because a record comes out and I go, they'll say, here's a review of the new AC/DC record. I'll go on and I'll read it. And nobody ever goes, same AC/DC record. It's been coming out for 40 years, but Kiss, you could go back and read, these guys have no talent. They can't sing. They can't write. They can't this. They can't that. It's like, why the hell? It's like a Kiss record is at least every bit as good as any AC/DC record. In my personal opinion, I'm not saying Kiss is better than AC/DC. I'm not saying they're worse. I'm just saying, if I put on an AC/DC record, I can listen to it from beginning to end, and I get exactly, they're at least equal. But for some reason, Kiss, nope, this sucks. This is bad. It doesn't make any sense to me. Did I already say my number two? My number two is Unmasked. I love that record. It has not only because I think that the music, I don't have a problem with any song on it. And I never, of course, knew that Peter wasn't playing drums. I should have known when the rototoms, I should have known that was not Peter, but I was like 9. Excuse me. When the record came out, and it had such a huge part of my life to it. And when I listened to that record, I wasn't the guy that went, "Oh my God, this sounds so different." Just sounded like a record, and this is the way the music sounded. And I guess I just wasn't at all musically rounded to the point where I went, "This is so different than the first record, so different than the second." So, I didn't notice. I just thought it was Kiss. That was all that mattered.
Yeah, me too. Same thing. I never thought, oh, this is different. I just thought, oh, this is great. It's Kiss.
It's Kiss. Thank you. Thank you for putting it on the record out. I've said this before on the show, and of course, we're coming up on our 350th show. I have said this before. I didn't even know somebody could leave the band or get kicked out of the band until I got that 16 magazine with Peter's left the band. I was like, what the hell does that mean? That's like, it's like a divorce, But anyway, Sonny, number 2.
Although I agree with all the production stuff, man, the songs are unbelievable, and that's Crazy Nights for me. I know people take all kinds of shots at Bang Bang You. I think you got to be ultimately brave to sing songs like that. I love them. I think they're awesome. I think they're catchy. Hello there.
See that guy? His name is Pooney. We hate him.
We love me.
Oh,
I show him a picture of you at night and I slap him.
But yeah, I don't have a problem with Crazy Nights at all. At all. If the production was different, so what? Like I could say that about Unmasked. I could say that about Hotter Than Hell. I could say that about a bunch of different albums. But people hate When Your Walls Come Down. Yeah, it's stupid. I don't skip it. I think it's great. I have no problem with it. And it probably is. I love 80s music, period. I love most everything that came out in the 80s, especially if it hit the charts. So I got no problem with it at all.
Okay. And see, it's funny that you said that because that's what I was thinking about me and how I love Unmasked. But I don't just love 80s rock. I love 80s pop.
Music,
you agree?
Me
the
too.
music. Oh, yeah. Okay. Now, let's discuss that for a second. Do you think that we love it so much because of the fact that we are obviously MTV generation and we sat in front of the TV and got exposed, no pun intended, to all this music that we would have never listened to had MTV not been around? So Duran, I've said this before, Duran, and you've got your Culture Club and Madonna, and all these bands, that we would have never, Kasha Gugu. I knew Too Shy to Shy, and it's just like, even Bowie had 80s songs that, even though they were not like a Madonna song, it was still an 80s Bowie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's MTV, but I think it's not just MTV controlling what you see on TV. It's MTV controlling what's on radio too. So I had to wait out all of these songs to get to my Yngwie Malmsteen video. Yes, I had to do that all the time. So I constantly watched MTV. But the minute the mid to late 80s started, and it really started with Home Sweet Home. The minute Home Sweet Home crossed over to top 40 radio, and some of our hair metal songs started hitting top 40 radio, then I was in the car listening to top 40 radio, waiting for those songs to come. And all of the songs I would have saw on MTV were on the radio charts that I was listening to. So I think it's MTV totally, but it's in two different ways.
MTV made a lot of 80s bands.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. I mean, the one hit wonder, was that a phrase before MTV?
I don't think so.
I mean, you had a lot of one hit wonders in the 50s and 60s, that's for sure. But I don't know if the term ever came about.
Yeah.
It's a good point.
And
Yeah.
50s and 60s were full of singles too, right?
Yeah.
So now you were getting one-hit wonders with full albums.
Right.
No, it's true. But that's the thing, though. That's another thing is that even though you have a band that had just one hit, but I bet you, and of course I've never done it, but I bet you if I took that Kasha Gugu album and listened to it, there's more than one good song on there. But because I only ever heard Too Shy to Shy, that's the one that I think of. But the other songs just didn't break like that one. But I don't know.
I'll
Yeah.
tell you that the record companies knew what they were doing, especially with pop bands. Like I own all the Bryan Adams albums. You listen to the hits, oh my God, they jump off the record. The other songs on there, they're 50-50. Like some are
Yeah.
just kind of meh,
I'm
right?
with you.
John
I agree.
Waite's the same way. Duran's the same way.
Rick
Like
Springfield, all the same. Yep.
yeah, they knew how to pick. They heard the hit and they're like, that's the one. And then how do you not know? Like, so I would go buy the Rick Springfield record and go, well, how do you not know like track 3, 4, 8, 9, and 10 are no good? And I go listen to them like, oh, okay, I understand why.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you go, well, yeah, they were dead on.
Yeah, they were dead on. That's why when you get like a Loverboy's greatest hits, Rick Springfield's greatest hits, they are killer albums because they basically picked and chose the Bryan Adams greatest hits album.
Oh,
They've got 5 or 6
incredible.
albums. They just picked off the 2 or 3 that were the best and threw them on one. You don't need to buy the rest of the albums.
Yeah.
They're incredible.
You know what though, and you've heard of the Bon Jovi used the pizza parlor in their neighborhood to pick the songs for Slippery When Wet. So they went to the pizza parlor, they grabbed all the kids, they brought them to the studio, and they played the songs, and the kids voted on which songs were the best, and that's how they put the record out. Now, that's something I read in Circus Magazine 30 years ago, whether or not, or maybe longer, whether or not that's true or not. But it sounds like it's a great idea.
It sounds like this. It sounds like the Vinny story where how he found Mark Slaughter, right? He sent the tape and he didn't put his name on it, and then we found out later who this kid was. No, that's not true. Robert Fleischman left the band. He didn't want to tour, and then Mark Slaughter came in.
But we know there's all kinds of insight groups. You pull 100 people, you throw them in a room.
Yeah,
before
focus
COVID,
groups,
obviously. Right?
Everyone does focus groups, of course.
And what's 100 people going to tell you that 1,000 people would tell you different? Nothing, right? So it's like, all right, just get the 100 people, see what they say.
I remember when we had Z-Rock, when we had the pilot getting ready to be picked up for season, and they were doing focus groups, and a lot of the focus groups were confusing Dave and I in the band because we had the same type of hair and so on and so forth. And I remember them asking me to grow a goatee to kind of differentiate. But at that time, I was already starting to put like blonde streaks in my hair. So we started to, and this was, before we got this feedback, and it wound up being fine. But they wanted David and I to kind of somehow look different.
Yeah.
So they just had him take his shirt off for every episode.
Exactly. And just show his ass.
He showed his ass a lot. That dude was ripped.
Oh, you have no idea what it was like being on set and you see the poor makeup lady kind of
shining
covering up his ass blemishes.
Oh. I'll tell you what, Joey, you have lived the life, buddy. That does not sound like the life to me. No, it is the life, buddy. Let me tell you. Okay, so let's get to number one.
All right, so my number one is pretty obvious. It's the one I haven't picked yet, and it's the complete opposite of Unmasked, and that's Creatures of the Night.
Same for me.
I will say that over the years, because it's always been one of my favorite Kiss records, I have played it out. And I don't go to it as often. I never put on War Machine. I never put on I Love It Loud. But if you listen to this record straight through, there's no filler. Killer is incredible. Saint and Sinner is maybe the best song on the record. Still, I Still Love You is amazing. They're all super strong songs. Kiss, obviously the cover means a lot to me too. Seeing Eric for the first time on that cover blew me away. And just the whole vibe, it creates the vibe before you even put that needle on the record. you had a vibe going in. You saw that record with that blue purple tint, and you just felt something ready to go. And when Creatures kicks in, it's perfect. It's what I want from Kiss. Great sound. Eric sounds amazing. The guitar playing is great. Paul is incredible. Awesome.
It's an age-old argument that Kiss fans have. Had they released that instead of Dynasty, if Creatures would have come out instead of Dynasty, or Creatures would have come out instead of The Elder, what would have happened? That's one of the things, and that's why I agree that, for me, Creatures of the Night is the number one 80s record. When I put that on, it is just punches you in the face. Excuse me, I promise I don't have COVID, but I'm sick. Not that you could catch it from me right now. But
Does not sound good, Joe.
Better fix that before the cruise. You got a week left there, buddy.
we got over a week.
Oh, yeah, we got a week and a half, I guess.
Don't jinx me. And don't, we'll talk about something else off the air. But as soon as that Creatures, as soon as that song starts, it's like boom, and you're like, whoa, this is just exactly what you love about Kiss. You know, I mean, so many different exactly's what you love about Kiss. I've been saying it the whole time. I love Kiss. Exactly what I love about Kiss is the fact that they changed their sound. I love the fact that they can be exactly what you want from the beginning, and I love that they can make a 180 and go right back to what they used to do, and it's great. It's wonderful. Sonny.
When there's 24 albums, including the solos, and you pick Asylum, you're on an island by yourself. What are you going to do? But Asylum's my number one. It was there when I was 15 going into 16. It was my first Kiss show, and it was all over MTV. And so Asylum was going to win for me because, you know, it hit me right at 15, 16 as I'm really, really getting into music. And it was the first time I saw Kiss, and Kiss was the second show I ever saw. And so, you know, just kind of, it happened to be the floor I got off the elevator, right? Just happens to be that floor. And I know I'm on a small island because they got great albums out there. And I don't really care. This is the album I go to when I'm feeling down either way.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter to me. And I love Radar for Love. People fucking hate that song. I love it. It's the only reason I listen to Zeppelin. Because I heard that, and then I heard Zeppelin. So I'm like, oh, that sounds like Radar for Love. I remember saying that.
I like the White Lion version better.
No, I hate that. Oh my God.
Here's a funny story. Me and my buddy were going to see, I think White Lion was opening maybe for Ozzy. And he's like, dude, you'll never guess what. They're doing Radar for Love. I'm like, what? I thought they were doing the Kiss song. I thought they were covering the Kiss song. No idea. Had no idea what the other song was.
I'm not sure if Tramp could pull that song off.
No
anyway.
way.
Yeah.
If you include like what we just did, if you include Unmasked and Creatures and The Elder in these 80s records, right? I was saying to Joe before you got on, Sonny, how when I hear rank the 80s records, I think Lick It Up through even through Carnival. That's what I think. I think 80s, I think Unmasked, I think blah, blah, blah. But if we do it this way, and I know this is going to sound crazy, but think about it for a second. I'm curious to see if we do a poll. If you really had to pick the 80s records against the 70s records, do you go 70s or 80s? I mean, don't get me wrong. My first instinct would be, of course, the 70s. I don't know if that's true. If you poll my Spotify listening, I guarantee you I listen to these 80s records more than I listen to the 70s records.
I'm really thinking about that hard right now, but for me, it would be 70s.
For me, it would be 80s.
Yeah.
I think I might be 80s too, especially if you're putting Unmasked, Creatures, and The Elder in there. If you're starting just from Lick It Up, no, I go Makeup Kiss. Because that's what I always think about. I think of Makeup Kiss versus non-Makeup Kiss. But if we're doing 70s, literally calendar years versus 80s, I don't know. I think I go 80s.
That is a really good question. If you guys out there are listening and you want to send us your list, podcast Rock City 1.
That is the number one.
gmail.com. You want to know something that's really messed up is that if I ever am around, let's say I'm with Karen and I'm calling somewhere because I need to get some work done on the house or something, and they're like, "Can we get your email?" I'll always go, "Oh yes, podcast Rock City 1," and I'll hear Karen go, "That's the number 1," because, and I'll tell you this, it completes me because if I don't hear it, that's the number 1. I feel like I went to school without my pants on.
That's a horrible thought.
Yeah. I'll show you what it looks like. Hold on.
Hold
No,
on.
I'm kidding. Okay. So that was really great. Podcast Rock City 1, that's the number 1 at gmail.com. Send us your list. A lot of people are saying 70s, 70s, 70s. And somebody earlier said that I had that Creatures promo poster. I have news for you. I have 2. And not to rub it in or anything
Big
like
surprise.
that. They're so rare. You get a chance to buy it. You better go ahead and do it. Let's see. I think that's another email send us. If you like the 70s Kiss music over the 80s Kiss or the 80s over the 70s, let us know. Or 90s. I mean, there's somebody out there that could go, "Hey, I like the 90s." I don't know why, but or how you could do that, but I'm just kidding. We're getting a few right now.
Again, obviously the first instinct is to say 70s, of course. But if you really, I listen to the 80s stuff, these 80s records, starting with Unmasked, more than I put on the other records. I can't tell you the last time I put on Hotter Than Hell or the first record. That's for sure.
No, I can't listen to anything for my baby. And if I'm going to listen to that record on vinyl, if I'm across the room and it hits that song, I got to take a shoe off and throw it at the record player.
Dress to Kill I go to quite often. I love Ladies Room and Ladies in Waiting and Two Timer, Getaway. I love that record.
You still didn't mention anything for my baby.
Anything for my baby. Great song.
So wrong. Okay, so let's have a discussion right before we're going to get out of here. 1, Joey, have a good time on your trip.
Anyone out there who's listening, if you're going on the Jericho cruise next week, find me. I will be all over, mostly at the bar and sometimes on stage. Come hang out, say hello, say anything about PRC, and I will buy you a drink.
Oh, that's awesome. And also, don't forget you're going to hide some.
Yes. You know what? Maybe I'll hide one of my books somewhere so you can find it.
Oh, that sounds like a cool idea. I wish there was a way for you to get us a couple so we could do a contest on the boat and give away a couple. That would be
I'll
awesome.
stash them someplace, or I'll give them to. They're going to be in the gift shop on the Jericho cruise. Maybe they'll still be there for Kiss.
Yeah. Joe, you know what your room number is. I bet you Joey can leave it for you.
Wouldn't that be crazy? I bet they go in and take it though. You got to glue it to the.
No. I mean, leave
like
it at
in The Godfather when he glues the gun to the back of the urinal.
Yeah. Oh no! Like he could go there and say, "Hey, listen, I'm getting off the boat, but some of my friends are getting on. This is for room, blah blah blah."
There you go.
Maybe. Yeah. Shoot me your room number, Joe.
Yeah, we'll work that out. Sonny, do you have anything to add?
How'd the Giants do today?
You stupid idiot.
Thanks for listening.
Wait, do you not know or do you know?
I know.
I know.
I don't know. The Falcons didn't play, so I barely watched. I'm right now. It's Go Braves. That's where we're at right now. Okay, Joey, what you got to add?
Again, anyone out there, if you're interested, the book is on Amazon right now. Go to Amazon.com. Wrestling with Joey Licious. Just type in either Joey Casato or Joey Licious. It'll pop up. It's a super fun read, super quick. Great fun stories. Chris Jericho's a big part of it. Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold Steve Austin, all crazy characters in this. See what I'm up to. See what kind of shenanigans I get into in this book. And by the end of this book, let's just say Joey Licious is looking pretty good for the world title, baby.
Oh, my goodness. I'm so excited. I will tell you guys out there that my buddy Christian, who does a wrestling video podcast, or what do they call those, vlogs or whatever, I don't know. But he bought the first book because I told him to, and he called me like a day later and was like, it's a great fast read. And he sent me a message the other day. He's excited about this book. So That's pretty awesome. You know what I don't know what I'm going to say. I know that we got the cruise coming up, and I'm very excited about getting on there. I'm going to make a whole bunch of new friends, provided they like me after I say this. You know what I'm going to say. We love podcasts, and we love Kiss podcasts. Well, less than like 0.03% of them. And one other thing, and not to be a downer or anything, but I believe Mike Brandvold's father passed away. Maybe
a week or two ago, right?
A week or two ago. You know, I know how some of you guys feel about Brandvold, and how he, he pushes the button, and that's what he does, and that's why you know who he is, because he pushes your buttons. But he also gets you to think. And I've met him one time, and he was very nice to me. And I will tell you guys. No, I'm not going to tell you. That's for me to know, and you never to know.
Brandvold is a sweetheart. He's always been good to me. He's always supported everything I've ever done. I've been on there numerous times. They're great guys. Yeah, that's what they do. That's what their show is. They like to divide the fans. Like I said before, the debating is what makes this fandom so much fun, and they're very good at it.
Yeah, and I would imagine that if he knew we were having this conversation right now, he would be like, "You guys don't know what you're talking about." It's, anyway, God bless you, sir. I hope that you're hanging in there. You know what I'm going to say? We love podcasts. We love Kiss podcasts, most of them anyway. And you're going to hear the commercials for all the ones that we love. I mean, I never play them after the live show, so I don't.
Get out of here.
In 3, 2, 1, peace.